Hey buddies, how's it going? I wanted to get back on. It's been a few days, but I wanted to reconnect with you guys and just go on a bit of a random commentary slash rant just about self-worth and knowing your value and putting yourself first. And this isn't a relationship style of value. This is more so when it comes to knowing your value just in life in general, and when it comes to certain environments like corporate America, society, etc., etc. But I just wanted to share my own personal experience. Some of you guys might know that I am a contractor and have been since moving out to LA. Contracts did dry up. I'm in the tech industry, unfortunately, when all the tech giants started laying off people. Other tech companies started to follow in suit. And since then, it's been an arduous process to kind of find a new contract where there were so many, and now they've all kind of dried up. But part of that process for me was finding this part-time coaching at the Swim Academy. And the owner, who happens to be a pretty, young, sweet, somewhat caring individual, over the past couple sessions, I've realized that the owner is very client-driven, very kind of money-hungry, and doesn't really stand on her own principles and morals when it comes to the value of the service that she provides. I think it's important to realize that when you are providing an invaluable service, such as teaching somebody how to swim, you need to be able to create and stick to standards and practices and not be intimidated by the clients who, are just paying. Because at the end of the day, they're coming to the Swim Academy for a specific service, not the other way around. And a lot of times she will catch herself being intimidated and bullied into doing whatever the parents want just because they're paying. And this is a Swim Academy that teaches young kids ranging from 1-year-olds to age of 10. In my past experience working at county pools, we were very strict when it came to how we disciplined our young swimmers. It was very just to the point. We didn't dilly-dally or waste time when it comes to how we conduct and operate. For example, if your child is rambunctious, they're quickly put out of the pool. That's the disciplinary measure we take. We don't waste time trying to talk them out of, being disruptive or any of that. It's real quick. You sit outside the pool. If you continue to be disruptive, then you are taken to your parents and they're told why your child was taken out of class. At this Swim Academy, there doesn't seem to be enough disciplinary measures that really support the instructors. It seems like there's a lot of just trying to negotiate, and I don't know what the term I'm looking for, but it's a lot of just back and forth and trying to decode and decipher what's happening with the students, and that wastes a lot of time and it creates extra hurdles that you have to kind of jump over and process when your duties are to teach a certain skill set that's going to help evolve and grow young children. So what I've realized is that, and what I've also talked to the owner about, is that for me, taking the extra steps to discipline somebody's child is not what I'm going to do. Absolutely not. I don't have that type of patience or temperament to do that. And I've realized that a lot of these young parents, these new age parents, seem to be too scared to discipline their children. And I don't know if there is a certain expectation that's set for the child when they're coming into certain environments. Like for me, growing up, going to swimming practice or soccer practice, there was an expectation set. My parents are pretty toxic, so I'm not going to use all of their methods as an example, but there was an expectation set where me and my brothers knew that in these environments we need to listen to the coach, we needed to participate, have a good time, and retain these skills. And if we didn't like it, then we need to communicate that. As a lot of these children don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to express themselves, and some of these parents seem to just want to dump their kids into a new environment and hope for the best, hope that the instructor is able to discipline and basically corral their children and straighten them out. And I do believe that it takes a village to raise a child, but it starts at home. And it's important that the parents set the expectation, let the child know that when you're in this environment, this is what is expected of you. These are the consequences, good and bad, if you do not follow or adhere to what you need to. And I feel like that's lacking. I saw a video of a young ballet instructor who was sharing her frustrations and her gripes with the young generation of parents and kids, and I can completely relate to that. So it's important, even as a business owner, to know your worth and your value. Don't let somebody just run you amok and intimidate you and tell you that, that they want you to do this for their kid or do that for their kid. For example, I have a lot of kids that clearly have some type of attention deficit disorder. I mean, I grew up with attention deficit disorder, you can tell. And if the parent doesn't feel like the instructor, like for example, I had a parent who thought that I wasn't able to set enough strict boundaries, or I wasn't able to connect with her kid enough because he was still so distracted and so rambunctious. Her immediate reaction and request was to get a new instructor, which isn't a bad thing. That's okay. But my question is, what is the parent doing to enforce that her child is ready for a swim class? Is she setting the expectation, or is she just hoping that he's gonna just fall in line depending on who's teaching him? And that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense if that's the case. I know that I provide a really valuable skill set. I have a lot of training when it comes to swimming, and I've been on so many different swim teams and in different swim classes, so I have a lot of valuable knowledge to pass on. But it's important that there is a learning environment that is, again, set for students and adults. If not, then it doesn't matter how skilled I am, you're not going to learn anything. But I've already told the owner myself that when it comes to disciplining children, that's just not something that I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be chasing kids around the pool. I'm not going to be screaming and yelling. That's a waste of time and energy. And then you just become a glorified babysitter. And that's something I'm not. So knowing your value, knowing your worth, and standing on business, as people like to say, it's very important. Anyways, that's the end of my commentary, my little rant. You guys have a good day. Just picked up some from the dispensary, and I am going to do a little bit of studying.